Hi, I'm Rick Dior, and that was solo number 37 from the Anthony Cirone book, Portraits in Rhythm. So this is basically patterned after a piece by the Russian composer Rimsky-Korsakov called Capriccio Espagnol. And this is from the third movement of that, which is a big snare drum ensemble solo type of thing. Lots of the same kind of rhythms and licks are in this solo. It's not exactly like it, but I would definitely suggest listening to that before you learn this solo. So the main thing about playing this correctly is to remember it's kind of a military kind of thing stylistically. So that means the rolls are a little more open. You don't want to play them double stroke like this. Not like that, but just don't buzz them like this. Don't press in as hard as you normally would. You're just going to glide over the drum. Sort of a half buzzed, half sort of open kind of thing. It's hard to explain, but the best way to play it is don't put too much pressure on your buzzes and not as many buzzes. So if we go from the beginning and we see these accents on the rolls, don't hit them straight on. Come in a little from the side so the accents aren't too heavy. And the dots at the end of the line, they're slight accents. It's more of a phrasing thing. So a little bit of weight on those. So I'll play you the first two lines. 1, 2, 1, 2. Now, one thing I'm doing, and I also do when I play the piece with an orchestra, is when I have a tied roll, as in the second and third bar of line 2, I will put a slight emphasis, just very slight, on that roll rhythmically to help out the orchestra. So it sounds like this. So you hear that beginning of the measure. Normally you would not do that with the way it's written. Third line continues with that pretty much, as does the fourth line, but then I'm doing those beats that are staccato, the second bar of line 4, just with one hand with a slight accent. Okay, so I'll play lines 3 and 4 for you. 1, 2, 1, 2. And then we get to the kind of middle of the solo. And again, this figure is present in the original piece of music, where you have these triplets. And then you go into that roll. So there you want to play kind of marcato, a little harder, forcefully, and in the center of the drum. You want to really bring those out, okay? The brass, the trumpets have that figure as well. So we'll play line 4 all the way through line, the end of line 6. 1, 2, 1, 2. So you see how forceful I am there? You wouldn't play that loud with an orchestra at all. But the idea, and I'm trying to give you the energy of it here, is to play forcefully and strong. Okay? And then we get to the hardest line, or a couple lines in the piece, 7 and 8, where we have this permutation of this rhythm. So I'll play that for you. 1, 2, 1, 2. Very, very tricky. So that fourth bar, slowly, into line 8. Okay? So basically, I'm starting with my right and then doing another right. So like that. And the rolls are short. they're basically 2/16 notes. So here it is up to tempo. And this is line 7 and 8. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, going into line 8. So that takes a lot of energy to play that. All right? And then the end of line 8 is just a recap sort of the beginning to the end. So I'll play lines 8 and 9. 1, 2, 1, 2. Slight accent on that last row, just very slight. And also, I am also pulsing the end of line 8, that row once again. Just slightly, okay? You don't have to do that, but if you ever play the piece with an orchestra, it's very helpful. And usually conductors don't know why it helps, but they like it. So I would definitely suggest doing that. This is a common audition piece if you ever audition for an orchestra. I know all the auditions I did back in the 80s, and back in the 80s basically, had this, every single one of them. This, not this piece, but this excerpt. So I would suggest learning it. And hope you enjoyed this, and we'll see you next time with solo number 38.